Good evening, everyone. For those of you who are rewatching this, you can skip to the race via the timestamps that I'll put in the description after recording this live session. Tonight's not going to be a long live stream. We're going to do this FIA race. Hopefully it goes well. Hopefully it goes well. Hopefully it goes well. And then I'm going to make dinner and watch some TV. So I've been a bit under the weather after last week's travels, and just generally been a bit tired. I spent some time earlier doing this race as just a test. So I was in a pretty reasonably competitive lobby. I finished 4th after getting taken out at the first corner, so I was sort of down below the top 10. 4th, then I won one, and then I was running 2nd in the 3rd one and decided to bail out because I think I'd done my homework. So the thing is, though, my 1 lap pace in this car is pretty terrible, and I don't know why. I don't know why. I don't know how to find another second on top of this 23.3 that I've done. If you'd watch my lap, which I haven't posted anyway, but when I watch it, it looks like the lap of TRL and of Lightning and of 2-2, who are phenomenal drivers with this car. And what I suspect is this car is very sensitive to lifting off the throttle. It's very light, it's got a lot of downforce. So when you lift off the throttle, you're effectively applying the brakes, and in their case they are off the throttle for shorter periods than me, and I think that is what is giving them such a big advantage. But my lines are pretty similar, except this section sometimes I don't get it perfect. My lines are similar. My braking is fairly close to theirs. I've realized Tutu is able to brake so late compared to other drivers, and I'm not quite sure how he achieves that. He does bang down the gears quite aggressively, almost, and I know he's not using an H pattern shifter, but it's almost like he has one of those and just somehow gets the car into 2nd gear or 3rd gear quicker than anyone else. Excuse me. I apologize for being a little bit blocked in this live stream. But hopefully I get better relatively soon. So yeah, race pace relatively decent. It does depend though how good a start you get, and it also depends where you start. So if you're starting outside the top 5, the best in my opinion you can hope for is a podium. And if you are starting in the top 3, you probably need to get to end the first lap in 2nd or 1st if you want to have a chance of winning, because it's quite close. And surprisingly difficult to follow and then overtake, especially if the guy can anticipate your move with the overtake button. This is my favorite track in the game, but I've just been through the worst corner in the game. That downhill right-hander always catches me out. So that's a focus for me in this race. Well, there's 2 focuses for me in this race. The first one is don't hit anyone. I still cannot judge in this game how to get close but not touch other drivers. And what's strange is, I did the Mugello 12-hour on the weekend, and I overtook maybe 150 times. I did 3 hours of driving, and I was overtaking at least 2 cars per lap. And there was no drama there. I can get extremely close to cars in real life, no matter what speed they're driving, where you think for sure the bonnet is touching their bumper, and I don't touch them. Yet in this game, I just cannot quite judge it compared to, love this corner, compared to real life. So I don't know what's going on there, and I'm still not quite sure how to fix it in this game. But I'm still touching other cars too much. So that's mission number 1, is try my best to avoid contact. See, there's this corner, and mission number 2 is keep it together in this final sector. Okay, mission number 3 is qualify well. On the weekend in Mugello, I qualified P7, but I honestly think that we just didn't quite yet understand the tyres. It was the first time doing qualifying on the Hankook, and even though I was the fastest of the Rinaldi drivers, of which there was 5 cars, 4 of which had professionals in them, just in general the Rinaldi cars were in qualifying a little bit off the pace. So in real life I'm definitely getting much better at my quali, which is something I was lacking building up to this point in my career, but I'm doing much more mileage these days, testing more new tires and new brakes, which makes a big difference. Braking makes a huge difference, by the way. If you start qualifying in real life on new brakes, it's like having new tires. You need to understand how much later you can brake, because if you brake at the normal place that you're used to braking at, you're probably going to arrive at the apex a bit too slowly, because the bite factor is just so much greater. So it's something you've got to be aware of. Anyway, I'm getting used to that. It's Blancpain next weekend, which is my primary championship that I'm focusing on. After the Mugello performance from my personal side, I have had some more races added to my calendar, but I cannot announce those yet. Let's just say that at one point I was going to do one race on Saturday in Germany and another race on Sunday in Italy next week, but luckily I just get to focus on Italy. Last week I was in Monza on Monday, Paul Ricard on Tuesday, Mugello on Wednesday, and I've always wanted to drive multiple tracks in the same week, but honestly the travel was a little bit too much. So when my team told me that I will be again in Mugello at the beginning of next week, then Monza on Friday, then in Germany on Saturday, then back to Monza on Sunday, I was dreading it a little bit. It's not as easy as just changing tracks in the game. The travel itself is quite killer. So last week, for example, between all those tracks I had to drive from Italy to France, and then from France back to Italy, and it's quite chunky, you know, when you're doing 7 hours on the road in both directions, and then you have to drive a racing car after that. I don't care how fit you are, it's just you don't perform at your optimal, you know. So anyway, next week I'll just be doing Mugello and Monza, which I'm pretty stoked with. Just by the way, I'm going to read your comments in a second, just giving you a bit of a background to what happened last week, and I'm kind of looking forward to this race. The reason I didn't release a track guide for this race is because I'm not confident in telling you how to drive these Super Formulas when I myself am not entirely sure how to drive them. Okay, so G4Z Chris, he destroyed us yesterday. Sorry, not yesterday, earlier when I was testing. We got CNF Blazer, he's quick, Wi-Fi password, always quick. Who else do I know in here? TNTR Max Bailey, he was also very quick in the warm-up races. Excuse me. So let's aim. Realistically, I want to be in the top 5. I always want to be in the top 5, and sort of go from there. Whoa. Okay, so quickly jumping into the comments before qualifying. Hey Hugh Hadrick, how you doing? Tabalba, what's happening, bro? Live stream, yay. Welcome, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Cool. Skipping this race, can't find good performance. That's Ashumi 85. I don't blame you, bro. This car's, it's really difficult to drive. Let me just quickly switch to the soft tire. Okay, good. Let's check the points table. 2,400. Wow. I haven't had a chance to boost my DR ranking, so my driver ranking is still in the sort of 50,000s. It needs to be in the 70s if you want to get into the top tiers. I'm nowhere near that. I just don't have the time anymore. Thank you guys for wishing me luck, and thank you again for tuning in. So I'm pretty familiar now already with the tyre wear on this track, and I just want to get quali right. I know I'm consistent enough. Obviously it depends where you are on that first lap, but getting quali right in this combination for me is going to be the priority, and just generally improving my one lap pace in this game. So I'm pretty decent if you give me like the whole day to set a top 10 time, you know, around X track with X car. I have, you know, that's the classic Gran Turismo way. Given infinite time and infinite tires, can you get into the top 10? The answer from my side is yes. I definitely feel an effect because I was away in February. I was in Cape Town, and I didn't touch Gran Turismo during that time. But just prior to that, I was spending a lot of time in Gran Turismo because it was the off season for me, and I was honestly getting pretty quick on the single lap stuff, and was getting into the top 10 leaderboards quite consistently. However, since I've been back, I haven't really, I haven't experienced that sort of level of performance again, which in one way is kind of depressing. It means I'm just, you know, out of practice. You know, I still spend some time on the game. I want to spend more, but just haven't been able to do such a thing. So I've slipped outside of the top tier. You could definitely say that, and it's proven to be a little bit, I don't know. You know, I'm conflicted. I need to focus on my real racing. I just realized I forgot to do a livery for the car. I wanted to do a Ferrari livery, or just choose one. Okay, so I'm just going to go quiet now, guys. 10 minutes of silence while I do this quali. Let's try and get in the top 10. .24.8 is pretty competitive. Lots of Italians here today. Okay. Didn't expect that. I do expect... There you go. There you go. Okay, top 2 so far. Pretty proud of that. Stop talking, David. Let's get to the pits, bro. Damn, top 2. Oh, stay on the track, bro. Stay on the track, stay on the track, stay on the track. For those of you interested, I'm pretty rear on the brake balance for this car. It's got a lot of understeer, this thing. A lot of understeer. I would definitely open the diff and remove some rear wing if I could. But we don't have that facility, so relying on brake balance instead. I'm 333 hundredths ahead of the guy in third. That's my race number, 333 for this year, FYI. Can't believe I forgot to do livery. Okay, nice gap. For those of you as first timers here, I can't actually see the comments. I used to read the comments while I was driving and I crashed too much. So I will only check the comments after quali. 4 minutes remaining. Taking a small risk here to try and dump some more fuel. I have 3 minutes to do this out lap. Come on, come on, come on! I don't suspect on this lap time to stay in the top 5 for very long. So I need a good final lap here. I still got some overtake to use. Hopefully that carries over. Not enough, ladies and gentlemen. Not enough for pole. Chris is gonna get it. Ah! Now we have to wait 1 minute, agonizing. Where are we gonna land up? 24 is the ideal, guys. That's where you want to be. Ah, 2 tenths, damn it. Okay, reading some comments while we endure some pain of dropping down the qualifying order. Okay, well done, G4Z, Chris. Credit to you. Where's that? Denmark? I think so. It's Danish. Okay. Just quickly scrolling to the bottom, gonna go backwards. So we got Adria Maki. He's gonna make his move on us. Good job, more or less. Thank you, Sam Raven. Life O'Brien. What's happening, man? Just quickly reading here. Polaventris. If you want to get smooth, start with all the aids on. Get consistent there, and then work your way up from that point. Instead of starting with all the aids off and struggling, that teaches you how to fail. So rather teach yourself how to succeed by turning on all the aids, get consistent on the lap times, and then progressively switch off or turn off driver aids more and more. Just so you know, when you use the traction control, my advice is always to have it on TC, a maximum of TC2. Anything above that, and the car actually becomes more unpredictable, and you cannot balance the car on the throttle. So my advice with the TC is leave it on 1, and then turn ABS up. If you want, you can even turn up the ASM, which is the stability management, and go from there. Okay, let's see here. Ashumi is asking what steering I'm using for the game. I use Thrustmaster. Excuse me, got to clear my throat a little bit. Okay, driving options. Starting on the soft, pitting end of lap 5. Excuse me. Peter is asking, isn't second better? It's debatable. You do start on the clean side of the track, but you're also exposed, and the slipstream is not as effective as the overtake. Plus there's a standing start. Smooth acceleration is driving with ABS. What's it like in a real car? Do you try to avoid it, or do you activate it nearly every corner? We maximize ABS as much as we can. It's why GT3 cars are able to brake so damn late. But there's software and stuff that we tweak to make sure that you avoid locking, and we can also change brake compounds and brake discs to affect braking as well. So you'll have a sprint brake, which has more bite but doesn't last as long, and you'll have an endurance brake, which has a little bit less initial bite, slightly softer pedal, but lasts much longer for obvious reasons. But yeah, we rely, because the ABS is there, we rely on it a lot. And if you're not using the ABS, you're going to miss corners. Simple as that. The guys who are able to be quick in GT3 actually have a very good braking technique where they don't overuse the ABS. It's really difficult to balance, and it's a secret to going fast. So yeah, you want to get that right. And yes, you do use ABS, but you also it's the reason we use the ABS is because it's there. The reason we use traction control is because it's there, and if we don't use it, someone else is going to use it. There's no point in being a hero. You've got to take all the tools at your disposal and use them to your advantage, and I would recommend the same in Gran Turismo Sport. Everyone here is going to be using traction control at the start, so it's still a level playing field, and getting the traction launch right is still not so easy. So when we switch to my car, I'm gonna stop talking for a bit, because I want to not bottle this race. Let's try get a top 5, and it's all going to come down to my first lap. I'm very surprised Max Bailey's in P10. He was very quick in the test race. and I'm very surprised I'm in top 2. I was not on the one lappers, but pretty stoked with that lap. I know the aliens are going to do low 24s, but I'm going to driving to my sort of ability. 103 people watching right now. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm not joking. Pretty stoked with that. I've been feeling a bit under the weather, so I wasn't even going to stream today. For those of you who don't know, I posted a video earlier from the real onboard footage from Mugello, and I commentate on that. So if you want, you can go check that out. And for the Patreon subscribers, I'm going to be posting as much as my 3-hour stint as I can, but it will be without commentary, so you can watch that in the background. Okay. Speak to you guys in like 16 minutes and 32 seconds. Chris has pace. Pace to spare. I do not. Stay to the inside, David. Didn't expect to come into traffic, honestly. But surprised. Probably should have saved some overtake. I didn't have any overtake left to defend myself. Credit to Chris, he's about 3/10 a lap quicker, so... Oh, come on, dude. That wasn't legit. Tires are toast. Whoa. Oh well, started second, ended third. I think that extra lap on the tire was just a bit too much at the end. And what's happening here? Yeah, I don't know what to say to that one. I think coming out in the traffic, which I didn't anticipate, was not ideal. But it was a fun race. Unfortunately, couldn't quite bring it home. Well, what am I? 4 seconds off my personal ideal best, so... I'm a bit irritated, I can't lie. My enthusiasm has waned a little bit for this live stream. Yeah, so Chris had the benefit of better tires, which were a lap younger, and I couldn't maximize my undercut because of the traffic, which is a great shame, because then I would have definitely secured second place at least. But I think we lost about 1.5 seconds on the outlap because of the traffic. I expected everyone to box at the end of lap 5, not lap 6. So anyway, at the end of the day, that actually... Yeah, not sure what to say. Thank you, Chris, thanks for the race, that was a good race. I did have the benefit of doing the best lap because I was blocking Chris a little bit. I wish Adria left me a little bit more space on the exit of the hairpin, but he was in front and actually he had the right of way. The moral of the story here, guys, is don't race without a custom livery. It's not ideal. But there you go. I did mention at the beginning of the stream that it would be a short one. That's because I need to eat dinner before 8 p.m. in order to save weight. And yeah, job done there. I'm not going to do the manufacturer series. I have done 000 practice, even though it's at Monza, so I should actually do it. But I did try to do it last time. I embarrassed myself. I was crashing too much. So thanks to all of you who have been watching. Don't forget to watch my real-life onboard commentary. And I'm going to tune out. I'm going to go make some dinner. I will try again to live stream on Saturday with the next FIA race. So tune in then. Until then, keep it real. Good luck if you're racing this evening. And I will catch you in the next one.